Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Alex. I'm an architectural and interior designer, and today we're talking about Farmhouse, specifically some tips on how to shake things up if you're looking to update this style. Now, Farmhouse is one of those design styles that you either totally love or totally hate. I happen to love it when it's done well. I'm from Texas. I'm from a small farming town. I've got a thing for old houses. But my favorite thing about it, though, is just how relaxed and unpretentious this style is. Let's get into some ways, though, that you can tweak it if you want to put a new spin on it. My first tip is to pare back and simplify. At its heart, Farmhouse is a style that is all about simplicity and practicality. If you've got a lot of decor items in your home, you can try removing some of those and going for a less is more approach. There is a great designer named Nancy Fischelson that was published in magazines in the late 90s and early 2000s, and I absolutely adore her work. The way she styles her interiors, it's almost a minimalistic approach, with just a few key antiques and decorative accessories, but overall her aesthetic is very restrained. I especially love how she styles her beds, just really simple, understated, and elegant. Pillows and decor are really easy to move around, so try editing your items for a few weeks and see how you like it. You can always put them back when you want to. Moving on to the next item on the list, tip number 2 is to introduce authenticity. In old farmhouses, you'll find architectural elements like wood molding and beadboard paneling that really give them character. Newer homes tend to lack these elements sometimes, so it's important to bring them in. The home on the left looks beautiful with its original trim and paneling, and on this image on the right, it looks to be a new home, but they've added board and batten in the area beyond, which really gives that space character and texture. These days, you can also find inexpensive and easy to install MDF paneling that can fool the eye once it's painted. If you're in a rental or you're not able to add moldings or panels, then the other way you can add authenticity is to bring in actual antiques. Furniture items like a hutch or an old farm table really go a long way to lending an authentic air to your space, even if it's a newer home. Big furniture items make an equally big impact, and if your house is new, having these worn textures and items that have a patina bring visual depth to your space. This clock is an amazing statement piece, and I love the old furniture pieces in this second image. Even smaller items or collections of old things can really add something wonderful to a farmhouse interior. Tip number 3 is to add touches of black throughout your space. Most farmhouse interiors these days keep the palette very light and very neutral, but I really love it when you see little bits of black as part of the palette. Just a little bit brings some sophistication to a light interior. It's like the design equivalent of adding a pinch of salt to your baked goods. It's a tiny detail that makes a big difference. It can be in any form really, from a dark painted trim to light fixtures. In this image, I love the dark base cabinets paired with the black window mullions. They look really sharp against the bright white. If you're nervous to add a lot of black, you can do something easy like painting a door, cabinet door hinges, or even just use artwork in simple black frames. This space here benefits from the black in the hinges, the railing, furniture, light fixtures, and the art, which all work to make a difference in how you visually perceive the room. I love the black bathtub in this bathroom. It goes perfectly with the subway tile behind it. And in this photo, the dark chest of drawers and the black lampshade really help make this space feel refined. There are endless ways to bring in some black to contrast with your light interiors, so it's a really easy thing to do. Next up, tip number 4 is to bring in wood for visual warmth. This is another tip that would benefit people who live in newer homes or have spaces that are mostly white and neutral. The look of natural wood brings a visual warmth that can make any space feel cozy. Some folks are fortunate to have big wood beams in a space or original hardwood floors throughout their homes, but if you're not one of the lucky ones, you can still bring in wood elements. In this image, they've added some shelving and a big wood mantle over the fireplace. And in this space, the entire fireplace has been clad with horizontal wood boards. I love how modern it looks, but at the same time, it really brings in character to an otherwise all-white space. You don't have to go really dark with the wood either. In this modern farmhouse, the wood is very light but looks amazing paired with the black windows. And here, they've used reclaimed wood to make a new hutch, but the patina on it really makes the furniture piece read as an antique. You could also consider bringing in an old fireplace mantle. This wood one looks really great on the brick hearth, and on this image, In addition to the mantle, they've also clad the ceiling in wood, which really helps warm up the room. And you can't go wrong with the wood feature wall. Look how gorgeous this wood wall on this kitchen looks. The boards look great paired with the bright whites, and in this room, it's more of a cozy feeling with the wood installed behind the stove. Definitely consider bringing some wood tones into your home. They'll do wonders for your interior. Tip number 5 is to update your lighting. Most farmhouse style interiors will have light fixtures like this lantern, barn light, cage fixture, nautical pendants, or industrial lights. But I think there's an opportunity here to try something a little more unconventional. These pendants here are super simple, and since they're smaller, they've grouped 3 of them together. The shape of these lights is a nice contrast against the old dining table. I love the idea of using simple modern fixtures in an old farmhouse like these examples here. But you don't have to stick with just modern minimalistic designs. This is the Moto chandelier, which is really beautiful and makes an amazing focal point in this dining room. The fixture is also quite pricey though, but you can find replicas from retailers like Wayfair.com. This island uses mid-century modern pendants, and this dining room here has a pair of giant lights that look like baskets, which are at the same time very dramatic, but also very light. And this traditional living room has a super modern fixture that looks so stylish. The sky's the limit when it comes to lighting. Using an unexpected style of fixture can really add something unique to your home. Alright, tip number 6 is to swap out your art. Changing up the art in your farmhouse interior is a great way to add some design flair to your space. You could do something as simple as bring in a single print, or go all out and do an entire wall of artwork. In this image, they've lined up the art along the top of the wainscot, and they get a bonus point for the squiggly look of the light fixture wires. Here, the small gallery is contained by the molding, which is also a really nice look. This image is interesting in that the art turns the corner and makes the most of the small wall area. Here, they've taken the same concept but done it on a larger scale. I love how large the mats are in relation to the photos themselves. This adds a modern element to this corner. You can't go wrong with large-scale artwork either. This large piece looks great behind this sofa, and that's all that's needed. On this wall, they've taken a wallpaper mural and framed it to look like art. I love how it looks against the dark painted wall. I also find it satisfying when you see really modern art in a farmhouse-style home. Here, you see some traditional elements like the tufted banquette, but the art is super contemporary and it's paired with a modern sconce that makes a really nice composition. And this very traditional lamp next to this modern art piece is a really nice juxtaposition. This last image here isn't a farmhouse per se, but it illustrates how you can combine all different kinds of art styles and make a fun and interesting collection. Tip number 7 is a fun one, and that's to introduce color and pattern. While the typical farmhouse interior palette these days is mostly white and neutral, I think it's worth considering including some color and pattern into your space. It could be something as easy as installing a patterned tile on your floors or a wallpaper in a powder room. Wainscots and wall paneling are also great candidates for getting some color. It doesn't have to be super bright to make an impact. You can use pops of brighter colors though. I like these red chairs in this kitchen, and this bluish gray on this sideboard. If you're feeling particularly adventurous, you could try something like yellow cabinets. Just looking at these spaces is like standing in the sunshine. One designer that I'm really a big fan of is Max Humphrey. He does an amazing job of making his interiors fun and playful. In this image, he's done a simple checkered fabric for the bench, and here he's done the same thing on a larger scale, but look at that pink duct above. It's such an unexpected choice, but it just makes me smile. Here he's used inexpensive tiles to make this bathroom into a statement piece, and in this room clad in wood paneling, he's brought in a lot of different patterns. If your space is super neutral, think about adding some color or pattern into your home. Even a little bit goes a long way. If you want to go the moody route, then tip number 8 is for you, which is to go dark on your feature walls. Now this is a great counterpoint to the light, bright spaces you usually associate with farmhouse interiors. A dark color really sets a moody, sophisticated tone in a home. You could either go the route where you do the walls and the ceiling a dark color, or a stain in this case, or if you're a little hesitant to do that, you can do just a wainscot like in this photo. In this image, the media wall has been given the dark treatment, which gives it a commanding presence. And here, the shiplap wall has been painted black, and just look at how the white accessories on the wall really pop visually. I also love it when you pair a dark room next to a light one. That contrast makes for a really interesting experience as you walk from one space to the other. You don't have to go super dark to get some drama though. In these images, the bookshelves are painted a dark gray that give that moody feeling without being pitch black. Bedrooms are also great candidates for getting darker colors, since it really heightens that cozy cocoon feeling that makes you want to curl up with a good book on a rainy day. And of course, if you don't want to paint full walls, a large black furniture piece can get the job done. My last tip is perhaps the most important one, and that's to tell your story. I firmly believe that your home should be a reflection of yourself and your personality. And the best way to do that is to showcase things in your interiors that have meaning to you. In this house, the quirky railing is a really unique architectural feature, but if your home is lacking in these kinds of elements, your decor items become even more important. Family heirlooms, things you've picked up on your travels, or things you've been gifted or made yourself look great when on display. These are the items that make the difference between your space looking like a furniture showroom versus a well-collected home. I also love things that have a sense of humor, like check out this lamp that has duck feet, or this one made from a boot. I really like this room here, which features mismatched chairs, unusual light fixtures, and a UFO print as part of the gallery wall. And the person who curated this collection is apparently a fan of naked people, but like classy naked people. It's so satisfying to invite someone into your home and see them smile when they notice the things that make your home uniquely you. But remember, the most important tip that I can give you is that your home should make you happy. Okay, that does it for today. I hope I've inspired you to try a few new things out with your interiors. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. It would really help me out. And if you're looking for more design tips, then check out my video on how to design a room, which I'll link at the end of this. All right, thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.